Well, well, well. What do we have here? Nice little mower. Let's see if she'll start up. All right, so we're gonna take her apart today, take off all the body work and work on this front axle. So now I got that rear part off. I can take a look and see. I'm gonna have to pull this plate off, pull that body part off. There goes the rear differential. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do the belts. Once I lower this guy here, I don't know if I'm gonna just leave this gap that's there or if I'm gonna cut into the frame, but we'll see once I pull that plate off. That's the hood support mount. Let's see how far back we have to go. Here goes the front of the frame, all the pieces. There's the mount, hood mount support, whatever you want to call it. There's the front. This is the axle, if you want to call it, front cross member. And you can see it's a little warped right there versus that side. So I might be able to work with it, might not. We'll see. Okay, so now I got the mower upright. I'm just gonna start taking apart the mechanism. Oops, the mechanism for the cutting blade deal. I gotta take off these guys. I'm gonna take off this bar here. It's held in by those C-clips. Just to start stripping parts off. And then I'll figure out how to get this plate off. And eventually I'll get the wheel or this guy off and flip it around. So yeah. The original PB Blaster, big ass can. So I've decided to basically use this 3/4 inch tube. It has a 5/8 bore, so I just get a grade 8 5/8 bolt. Stick that guy through there, weld it, and then weld a washer on top. So there it goes, something like that. Okay, so I took the engine off just so I could dig into it a little more. This is the rear of the frame sitting on the axle or the differential. If I get her back, jack under it. I think about there would be ideal level. I think that's a little lower. Well, who cares? Just want to lower it. It's not going to be slammed. But I'm gonna have to cut out the frame here, notch it, and then I'm gonna re-weld this section onto here. All right, so I'm gonna do it like this. Instead of cutting this guy out, cutting that out, and then trying to weld it, so use this big old piece of wood. And then this piece of rebar, it's like 1 inch or 1/2 inch, whatever. There, weld that rebar onto there, and then that'll give me my height, if you want to call it. Something like that. And then I'll cut that guy out. And then it'll be perfectly welded and good to go. So I got it on. I'm gonna tack it in place. So what I'm gonna do is use the blocks that were on top of the differential. They actually sat here. I'm just gonna use that as like a guide. I'll clamp it and then I'll send my drill through. And hopefully that should keep it aligned. And there goes the differential, and the battery case will fit. I just got to figure out a jack shaft, align it. As for the rear, so I just used that angle iron, cut it in place, and then I ended up cutting the frame. All right, so just dry fit all the pieces on. Just notch it and then weld that angle iron in. A bit lower than it was. And then I used the stock bolts. I didn't measure, but just dry fit everything. It's lower in the back for sure.